have another quick and easy meal prep for you. Hi friends, thank you again for joining me. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lisa and I am trying to lose some weight. So this week I have actually another quick and easy meal prep for you. It was sort of an accident that it wound up being so quick, but as I was making it, I was realizing really there's not much to it, and it's actually a good one for summer because it doesn't heat up your kitchen too much. So the sushi bowls are actually something I used to make and kind of forgot about actually. They're really low in calorie and they're nice and cool and refreshing for summer. I don't do them with raw fish. You certainly can if you're more adventuresome than I am, but disclaimer, it is not my fault if you get sick. So I leave the raw fish to the professionals that know what they're doing, and I stick with either the imitation crab meat that I show you in this video, or I do shrimp. You can just, fry it up in the pan for a couple of minutes and add that to it. Delicious. So let's get into that meal prep. To start with, I need to make some rice. So in my Instapot, I have 3.5 cups of water, and to that I'm going to add 2 cups of jasmine rice, and you can of course use whatever kind of rice you like. I do, when I use the Instapot, I add a little more water than it calls for. It calls for 3 cups of rice, 3 cups of water. So I have 3.5 cups of water to 2 cups of rice, and that's all I do. I just go ahead and give it a quick stir, just because I want all of that rice to kind of get wet and not stick to the bottom. And get the lid on. Make sure I'm unsealing and push the rice button. That's it. That's all I do for my rice. I'm going to be using this imitation crab meat. I also have some veggies here. So I have a cucumber. I have some carrots. So I'll put those in. I was going to put avocado in, but it's not ready yet. So instead, I still have a whole bunch of these mild guacamoles that I've been using as snacks. So I'm just going to put this in the meal prep and just it'll kind of give it a little bit of liquid also. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm also going to add in a soy sauce packet with the ones that I'm actually taking into work. So that way I have, a little bit more liquid I can put on the top if I want to. And that's really all there is to it. So I'm going to get going on chopping up some veggies. I'm going to do the paper towel trick underneath the cutting board, just to make it a little more sturdy. It'll still move a little bit on me, but not as bad. This is nice for, just a weeknight quick meal too. You don't have to do it as a meal prep. And that's kind of true of all of them, of course, but this is also really nice when you don't want to, have to heat up the house with the oven or anything. It's been hot here, so it's just a nice kind of cool. The only thing that's getting hot is the Instant Pot. And if you had already cooked rice on hand, you wouldn't even have to do that. I think I'm just gonna do this one maybe like in thirds, and that'll be what I put in each meal prep. There we go. And then I think what I might do, do I want to do this as matchsticks, or I think we'll do it the fun way. So at least for part of it, I'm gonna do these as kind of swirls like that. So if you've never done this, you can do this over salads, and it makes it just prettier. It makes me feel like I'm, having a restaurant salad when I do this with my carrots. It's kind of fun. And then once you get down to where it's kind of like nothing's really left, I just chop it off. And I think that's probably enough for one bowl, and then we'll go ahead and do a second one here. Okay, next up we have our imitation crab. And you probably know this, but do be careful if you're actually allergic to shellfish. A lot of these do actually have, it says with snow crab added. So this one actually does have real crab in it. So make sure you read the labels really, really well if you're someone who's allergic, because I would hate for you to have a problem. So I'm just going to do 2 of these in each of the bowls. There's 4 servings in here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 of them in here. Of course, why couldn't there just be 8? That would have been even, but that's okay. So I could measure this out to be 85 grams. I'm just going to say that, 2 of them is a half a cup, even though it might be a tiny bit less. I don't care. I'm just going to count it as 90 calories for 2. So just to make my own life easier, you can certainly, weigh it out if you want to. And I'm just going to kind of chop these. So I'm just going to kind of, make them into little kind of matchsticks almost, not quite that thin, but, and I'm chopping the whole thing in half because I want to feel like I got a lot of crab in it. I And now's when our time really starts, is when it's actually sealed. So that's why the Instant Pot, even though we say, oh, it's 15 minutes, it's 15 minutes after it comes to a good seal. So it takes a while, but that's okay. I'm just going to set this up here for just a moment, and we'll get on with our breakfast prep. I've been craving waffles lately, and I know I did hash waffles not too long ago, but I haven't made just the Kodiak cake, power cake flapjacks or waffles recently. It's been a while, so I'm going to go ahead and make these this week. So for half a cup, it's 190 calories. So that's what I'm going to do. Gotta love a new box. I love it. There's just something about it. This is from Costco. You can buy these in smaller quantities at a normal store, of course. Okay, so just like always, I'm going to be spraying it with this avocado spray to make sure that my waffles won't stick. And again, I'm just going to start with a half a cup of the mix. I think the reason I've been craving this lately is because there's so much fresh fruit in season. What I love to do is to take just a waffle and just smother it with, you know, all kinds of fresh berries. To me, that is just, it's such a go-to for me. I love it. So all I'm going to do from here is I'm going to add in some of these frozen blueberries. You can use fresh, of course. And I do actually have both right now, so when I eat this, I'm actually going to put some fresh on the top. But I do want to keep using up my frozen too. I'm just completely eyeballing it. Measure it with your heart. I also kind of measure the water with my heart too, so usually I just go over to the sink, honestly, and just put water in until it looks good. I don't like it to get too runny. I want it to still be fairly thick like a pancake or like a waffle. So I just add a little bit at a time. Try not to overdo it. This is also really good if you're craving, you know, something sweet for dessert. You can use the same Kodiak mix and just add a little bit of cocoa powder to it. And you have chocolate pancakes, and you could put strawberries on top of that. So good. They actually do sell a chocolate, you know, Kodiak cake mix. I've never bought it because I've always just done it with, you know, adding cocoa to it. And you can add a little sweetener if you want to. I'm going to spray this again because I sprayed it before it was hot. So these turn out really great when I add the frozen blueberries. That does not bother me. If it bothers you, then stick with fresh. It tends to not do this gray color. I truly don't care because when it comes out, it's not gray anymore. So it doesn't bother me that I am starting with concrete and come up with something delicious. It's fine. 9 minutes left on that rice. So I'll have time to make at least one more of these. Get a couple of them made before we start putting those bowls together. And this is really going to be it this week. It's going to be just, like I said, I didn't really want to heat up my kitchen too much. It's just going to be nice, easy, quick, all delicious stuff. Oh, that's a lot of berries in that one, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. And if I get a frozen chunk like that, I always pour the water over it to try and break it apart. You don't have to, it's just sort of what I do. Also, it works to do this with like a third of the cup of the mix. So if you're making like a dessert at night and you didn't want the whole 190 calories of, you know, that base, you could do a third of a cup. It still makes a decent serving size and you feel like you had some food, you know. Okay, look at that. Delicious. I'm just going to set it here to cool. Get my next one on. And then by then I'll hit pause because it'll be time to kind of put our bowls together. So I'll show you that next. So let me get this one on. Our rice has beeped. You can let it slow release for a couple minutes. It doesn't hurt anything. But you can also, if you're in a hurry, go for it right off the bat. This guy is almost done. He got so big because I had so many berries in there that he kind of overflowed a little, but it's fine. So for the rice in the Instant Pot, it got a little wet. What I do is I always take just any, you know, rag, dish towel, whatever, and I put it over. Let me make sure you can see, just in case you don't have an Instant Pot or you get one or whatever. I want to make sure, in case you don't know. I just put a towel over this valve. I make sure I'm out from my cabinets a little bit. I don't do it under my cabinet. And then I just slowly hit the release, kind of just gingerly to the side until it finally wants to stay open. I'm just releasing a little bit of pressure at a time here. And you'll be able to hear it. Good. Now it's staying open. My towel is still on it because I'm soaking up any of that steam that's coming up. There are food particles in that steam. So, you know, especially if you're doing something like a roast or something like that, the towel is really important because you don't want it to splatter, you know, all over your kitchen. And it's just safer to have the steam going into a rag than to just, you know, let it out or have, you know, have someone accidentally leaning over it or something. That would be terrible. So you do want to be careful, of course, with that steam. It's very, very hot and dangerous. But they're not dangerous machines. You just have to be careful. And then I just use that rag to kind of wipe down the top, any steam that got all over. And then I take this straight into my laundry basket. So that way nobody tries to use it for anything else. And then now it's safe to open the lid. So it's been about 4 minutes, so it's been complete now. And then there's always water in here. I go ahead and let the water fall in when I'm making rice. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I'm sure some people would say that's terrible to do that. It's just what I do. And then the littles just sit in the handle like that if you didn't know that. And then I just take this same kind of little rice scoop and I just fluff up my rice. And at this point I can go ahead and unplug my Instant Pot. And that is good to go. Let me check this. So I'm just going to set this aside for just a couple moments. Obviously I have a bunch more I need to make, but I just want to kind of focus on getting these, showing you what the bowls are going to look like. What I'm going to do as far as, you know, keeping all this stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and chop up all the veggies, keep them in a Ziploc bag, and I can just put them together in my own bowls during the week, with the exception of the 2 days that I need to go into work. I'm going to do those in these meal prep containers. So I'll show you both. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to take just a half a cup of rice here. I'll just use that same fork I was just using. Again, I could absolutely weigh this and be more accurate, but it's close. A half a cup of cooked rice isn't a whole lot, I know. So if you want a little bit more volume, you know, go for 3/4 of a cup or a cup. It's fine. It's still a reasonable serving size. And then in come all of the good veggies. I'm just going to keep all of my ingredients kind of together and pretty. But when I eat it, I'm going to get a little bit of everything in every bite, if I can. And then, of course, again, each of these is going to also have a little bit of the guacamole, only because I don't have decent avocados. If I had decent avocados, that would be something like to take it, I would have to do it that morning, just chop it and put it on top. And it would last until lunchtime. That would be fine. They don't freeze very well. I actually bought frozen avocados from Costco one time and they have no flavor, so don't buy them. It was a great idea, but they just, it sounds better than it is. So don't do it. It didn't work. So anyway, so that is what I have. And then for the ones that I actually also take into work, I have these little soy sauces, you know, from whatever your last takeout was. So I'll put these with it. And I have a little bit of that mixed veg. I don't know if you can see that through that bag. I have a little bit of that mixed vegetable blend left, so I'm going to use that first just so it's gone. And then I also have these green peas. So there's about that many left of those, so that'll probably, that'll for sure do the other meal prep that I'm going to do this way. I will run out of these during the week when I'm making these lunches, because I will also have a little bit of veggies on the side with these. So I'll run out of these, but I do also still have some broccoli in there, so I'll make that up. I just love any of the veggies, honestly. So for breakfast, again, I'm gonna have just one of these waffles with a whole bunch of fresh fruit, fresh berries all over the top of them. Right now, strawberries are in season in my area. In fact, I'm hoping I can go picking this weekend. But, you know, so any kind of fresh berries on top of these, so good. I don't even need syrup. If I really want it, I can have some sugar-free syrup, but honestly, I'll just stick with berries, and it's so, so good. You could also do just a tiny little shot of whipped cream on the top if you want to be fancy. So for lunches, I have these sushi bowls. So these will be just kind of, it's just kind of a fun, different thing to have. And so I'll have a couple that are easy to take into the office with me, and then the rest of them I can have just here at the house real easily. So that is what I have for that. And then for snacks this week, I got this roasted garlic hummus. I haven't tried the Market Side brand. I know the Sabra roasted garlic is really, really good. They just were out. So I'm going to try this one. And then I have a ton of different veggies I can dip with it. So, you know, I have snap peas and carrots and just all kinds of veggies. So whatever I feel like I will use as a dip or whatever vegetable I feel like that day. And that is everything for meal prep this week. So pretty easy meal prep, and I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be delicious. It's something different that I don't have all the time, so I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you enjoyed those recipes. If you did, be sure and give this video a thumbs up. Click subscribe for more, and click the bell if you would like notified each and every Saturday when I upload. I certainly appreciate you guys. I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Do be careful out there. Remember, not everybody is responsible that's out there on the road, so be extra careful. And I hope you have a very, very successful week as well. And we will see you next time. Bye, guys. I just recorded that whole thing and wasn't actually recording. Didn't go into it trying to do a fast one. A fast one? Didn't make it a fast one. Why am I struggling? Ooh.